Scene 1. The Legend of the House. The locals called it the Hollow House. No address. No owner. No history written anywhere official. But everyone knew the stories. They said people who entered never came out the same. Some left screaming. Some left silent. Some never left at all. Children were warned not to even look at it after sunset. Animals refused to go near it. And mobile signals died the moment you crossed the gate. I didn't believe in ghosts. I believed in proof. That's why I brought my camera, flashlight, audio recorder, and courage. Or what I thought was courage. At exactly 11:47 p.m., I stepped inside. The door closed behind me. On its own. Scene 2. First step inside. The air inside the house was wrong. It wasn't cold. It wasn't warm. It felt empty. Like the air had been used too many times by people who never finished breathing. My footsteps echoed unnaturally loud, as if the house wanted to know where I was. Dust floated in the beam of my flashlight, moving in strange patterns, almost like it was reacting to me. The walls were covered in old scratch marks. Not decorative. Not accidental. These were nail marks. Someone had tried to claw their way out. I whispered into my recorder. Is anyone here? The silence that followed was heavier than any scream. Scene 3. The first sign. I reached the living room. Furniture was still there. Chairs overturned. A broken table. A mirror shattered in half. The mirror caught my attention, because my reflection was delayed. When I raised my hand, the reflection followed 1 second later. I stepped back. The reflection didn't. It just stared. Then it smiled. I dropped the flashlight. The mirror cracked further, splitting my reflection into pieces. Behind me, I heard a whisper. Why did you come? The voice was not angry. It was tired. Scene 4. Searching for the ghost. I told myself it was stress, imagination, fear playing tricks. I picked up my flashlight and moved deeper into the house. Up the stairs. Each step creaked like it was complaining about my weight. Halfway up, I noticed something terrifying. Footprints.
Bare footprints. Fresh.
Leading upstairs. And I was alone. I followed them. Because once fear turns into curiosity, there is no going back. Scene 5. The child's room. The footprints ended at a small door. Paint peeling. A child's drawing still pinned to it. A stick figure family. One figure was crossed out violently. Inside the room, a small bed, broken toys, walls covered with drawings. All of them showed the same thing. A tall black figure standing in the corner, watching the child sleep. I felt my chest tighten. Then I heard a soft sound. A child crying, coming from the wardrobe. I opened it slowly. Empty. But the crying continued. Right behind me. Scene 6. First visual encounter. I turned and saw it. A shadow standing in the corner of the room. Not moving. Not breathing. Just existing. It had no face. No eyes. But I knew it was looking at me. The temperature dropped instantly. My breath became visible. I whispered, "Who are you?" The shadow stepped forward. And suddenly, I was no longer in the room. Scene 7. The past revealed. I was seeing the house years ago. Alive. A family lived here. A father. A mother. A child. The father was angry. Always angry. I watched helplessly as the vision unfolded, shouting.
Crying.
A door slammed. The child hid under the bed. The shadow I saw earlier. It was born that night. From fear. From pain. From silence. The father never meant to kill. But ghosts are not born from intention. They are born from unfinished suffering. Scene 8. Trapped inside the house. I snapped back to reality. The shadow was closer now. Its voice echoed inside my head. You see me now. Doors slammed shut upstairs. Windows sealed themselves.
My phone was dead.
The house was no longer abandoned. It was awake. The ghost wasn't trying to scare me. It was testing me. Scene 9. The rule of the house. The ghost finally spoke aloud. You came to find a ghost. its voice layered with pain. This house finds truth. I realized something horrifying. The house didn't trap random people. It trapped people who carried guilt. Memories I had buried surfaced. Things I never apologized for. People I hurt and never faced again. The walls began whispering my secrets. I dropped to my knees. The ghost leaned close. "Stay," it said softly, "or suffer forever." Scene 10. The escape attempt. I ran. Down the stairs. Through corridors that didn't exist before. The house was changing. Rooms looping endlessly. Doors leading back to the same place. The ghost shadow followed me. Sometimes ahead of me. Sometimes behind. Never touching. Always watching. I found the main door. Pulled with all my strength. It wouldn't open. Behind me, the ghost whispered, "Someone must stay." Scene 11. The final choice. I understood. The house needed a witness. A replacement. Someone to carry the memory forward. I turned to the ghost. "I'll tell your story," I said. "I'll make sure you're remembered." The shadow hesitated. For the first time, it looked smaller. The house shook. The door creaked open. The ghost stepped back into the darkness. As I crossed the threshold, it said one last thing. "Do not forget." Scene 12. Aftermath. I escaped before sunrise. The house looked abandoned again.
Silent.
Still. My recordings were corrupted. Except one audio file. A child's voice whispering, "Thank you." I uploaded this story. Not for views. Not for fame. But because some ghosts don't want revenge. They want to be found. And remembered. Ending line, chilling close. If you ever go looking for ghosts in a haunted house, make sure you are not the one they're searching for.